My 15-year-old daughter lost her life to suicide. She had been struggling with anxiety and depression. She and our family participated in professional psychotherapy. I tried my best to help her feel accepted, that she belonged, that she was seen. And one night, we had an argument, and she told me she needed time alone. 31 minutes later, my world was shattered. My daughter was gone, and I couldn't bring her back. Anger, guilt, and grief consumed me for years. My therapist eventually recommended I try a mental health program incorporating horses. When I arrived at the ranch, the treatment team invited me to interact with the horses. Standing at the edge of the pasture was a tall, brown horse named Rebel. Unlike the other horses, Rebel always kept his distance from me. Each session, I tried to approach Rebel, but as I got closer, Rebel would step back, never allowing me to be close enough to touch him. On one particularly difficult day, I was walking around the pasture in extreme grief, longing to see my daughter again. I looked up across the field and saw Rebel, reminding me of the physical and emotional distance between my daughter and I, now and when she was alive. Overcome by emotion, I curled up on the ground and sobbed uncontrollably. Some moments passed when, surprisingly, Rebel was standing above me. He pressed his head against my side and kept it there for a long time until my cries began to lessen. I looked up at Rebel and said, "You haven't left me. You're still here." That was the first time, after years, I felt peace. I felt that Rebel was seeing me, forgiving me, that my daughter was forgiving me, that I could forgive myself. Rebel continues to teach me that I can release the anger and pain and still keep my daughter's memory near.
My name is Rebecca Evanco, and I live in Peralta, New Mexico with my amazing husband, Mark. Abandoned by my parents at 15, I share this as a high school dropout, a PhD, a small and fragile soul, and someone who, through a combination of luck and tenacity, made it despite incredible odds. I see the world in different ways. I am not an enigma. I am not a puzzle. I am real, and like 5 million other Americans, I am autistic. I'm a survivor, and I'm forever grateful to the magnificent horses who have helped me survive my journey. Horses are a lot like autistic people. We find solace in our own kind and find incomprehensible much of the non-autistic human world. We do movements for our own understanding and comfort that you may not understand and that you may sometimes strive to curtail. In many ways, we are gullible, naive, open to literal interpretation. We seek reassurance and comfort. We need familiarity before accepting the new. We need to build trust before permitting you into our world. But when we trust and learn to love, we are fiercely loyal, devoted and dependable, willing and wanting to please. We recognize and respond to kindness, and we want acceptance and celebration of who we are, the way we are.
There are over 5 million American adults who are autistic. 2/3 do not have intellectual disability, yet struggle with executive functioning, self-regulation, and social interaction. 80% of autistic adults are unemployed or underemployed. This is the highest percentage of any disability group. And even 85% of autistic college graduates are unemployed. There are almost no programs to help autistic adults. And this is exactly why we started Wilderwood.
It's a stereotype that autism affects only children. Autistic children grow up to be autistic adults, but there are many autistic adults who are undiagnosed. Many have gone through life not knowing that what is wrong with them can actually be something right.
So for me, I've learned that people, for the most part, don't know I have autism, because for the most part, I'm one of those that it seems like I blend a little bit. People consider me quote-unquote normal until, I have a sensory problem or something, and then they're like, whoa, you're the weirdo. And people don't quite understand when I have a meltdown what that is, what that means. And it's very tricky to even tell people in that moment what is happening. So what I hope to accomplish by participating in the Wilderwood program, one, just to learn a little bit better about myself and how to better cope with the outside neurotypical world. And just being here and working with the horses and stuff is just amazing. It's like the peak of the week, it's like the one thing that I look forward to every single week is coming here.
I learned a lot growing up on my own as an undiagnosed autistic. I knew I could share what I learned with other autistic people and help make a difference in their lives. There is no other program like Wilderwood because Wilderwood's curriculum is designed by autistics for autistics. Over the course of 9 months and 3 semesters, our program takes the autistic perspective as normal, focusing on our strengths and helping us learn how to work through our challenges. And much of our program is focused one-on-one or in very small groups of no more than 3.
During the first semester, participants focus on knowing more about themselves, working on revisioning themselves from the perspective of being positive and strong. We celebrate the talents and attributes of autistic people and how these can blend and work with the non-autistic world.
In the second semester, participants choose an elective depending on their interests, such as organic small-scale farming, starting a small business, cooking, or computer design. The topics come from the participants themselves, and we encourage them to do something completely different as a way to strengthen resilience and expand their capabilities. And if we don't have the in-house expertise to teach it, we'll bring it in.
The third semester is a preceptorship, an opportunity for each participant to work one-on-one with us or with a community mentor to expand on the previous work and learning. The direction of each preceptorship depends on the interest of each individual participant. And again, if we don't have the expertise in-house, we reach out to local businesses and groups involving community mentors in partnership with Wilderwood.
So with my experience so far at Wilderwood, I definitely feel like I've made progress just with learning a little bit more about myself and, being able to better control either it be my emotions and just being able to better read myself. And then I can use these moments here and take them in the outside world and make the outside world a little bit better in that moment, which is nice.
Autistic people often hear, "You don't look autistic." And although autistic people can often mask their disability and appear to be fine in public, the effort to act normally can cause enormous stress, resulting in meltdown or shutdown.
But neurotypical people don't always see this. They don't see the emotional energy it takes to interact with the non-autistic world. They don't see the meltdown. But this side of autism is very real. At Wilderwood, throughout our entire program, We embrace the meltdown and we work on ways to help our participants better communicate their needs to the non-autistic world and to develop strategies they can use to head off the emotional toll that can result in meltdown. In both pleasant and unpleasant moments at Wilderwood, every creature and experience is valuable to the development and success of our program.
When we first came to meet Odysseus, he was at a kill pen in Louisiana. He was obviously a very highly trained horse, and we come to find out that he was injured, and the people who owned him just basically threw him away as if he had no value at all.
But here at Wilderwood, all of our participants and all the beings have inestimable value. Odie shows affection. He shows us a different way of communicating and the strength that can be found in gentleness. He opens up the way for us to reframe the way we see ourselves and the way others see us.
I love everything about this place, the serenity of it, the peacefulness, and just the horses. That experience you get to share with them is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and they definitely will change you, and it's for the better. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I will highly recommend it to anyone looking for a change in their life. This is the place to go.
It seems as though everything we've done in our lives has converged to prepare us for this moment. Our training, education, and experiences have come together to make a difference for autistic people.
This is our life's work and goes beyond our life as well. We've donated everything we own to charity, specifically the Temple Grandin Equine Center at Colorado State University. So the Wilderwood legacy will continue long after we're gone.
Horses can teach autistic adults like myself and Misty that communication takes place in many different ways, that we can make meaningful connections, and that by looking at the world through another's eyes, we can be open to possibilities that we may never before imagined were possible. We welcome you to Wilderwood and invite you to come and imagine what is possible too.